Picture this. You're in a tall office building, sitting around a conference room table with investment bankers and attorneys. You are negotiating a multi-million-dollar deal, and you have no idea what they're talking about. That was me. I was asked to cover for a colleague who was going out on leave. She was a mergers and acquisitions attorney. I was a learning and development specialist. Her world was contracts and billion-dollar deals. My world was trainings and workshops. But this was an opportunity that I had. For a few short weeks, I could show that if I could step up and take the challenge, maybe I was ready for a promotion. But every single meeting I had to go to filled me with dread. I didn't know half of the stuff they were talking about, and I felt like I couldn't contribute. But I couldn't just sit there and nod along. I had to understand this information because I had to take it back to my boss. And so in one meeting, when I thought, oh my gosh, there's something I really, really need to understand, I'm gonna have to ask an obvious question. Obvious to everyone in the room, most likely. And so I mustered up the courage and I asked, waiting for that shame and ridicule to wash over me. And you know what happened? Well, two things. One, they didn't know the answer to the question I asked. And two, after the meeting ended, the other attorneys came up to me and said, hey, when you get the answer to that question, could you let us know too? They didn't know either. And it's their job to know. And what's worse, they didn't ask the question. And that's when I realized it's not just me. This happens everywhere. When was the last time that you had a question that you really wanted the answer to and you didn't ask? When was the last time you had a question that you really wanted the answer to and you just didn't ask? Were you afraid that your silence was going to reveal your inexperience or that it just didn't matter? Your silence is costing you and your company time, money, and talent. And what I've learned from my experience, that it doesn't matter if it's a quick question in a meeting or if it's a formal presentation, that fear of being visible, it's the same. So how do you go from being silent to confidently speaking up? What I've discovered in my years of coaching is that it comes down to three things. Number one, preparation. Number two, relaxation. And the third, connection. Preparation. Can you first answer these questions? Why this? Why now? Why me? What makes this topic for this audience important right now? And how am I uniquely situated to speak on it? Relaxation. If you can't release the tension in your body, that tension is going to speak through your body by pacing and fidgeting. And your audience can't listen to you when your body is speaking so loudly. Connection. That's why we all speak, isn't it? We want to make an impression. We want to change minds, but let's be real. Things are going to go wrong. Somebody's going to ask you a question you don't know the answer to, or technology is going to fail. But if you can stay connected to yourself, you can get through those situations with calm, maybe even a little fun. When experts don't speak up, and you are all experts, everybody loses. If your team is doing the work, but they're invisible, remember that this isn't about making them into something that they're not. It's about helping them show up as they already are, with their expertise, with their perspective, with their voice. Silence isn't neutral. It's a choice against growth. This approach is going to help save you time and energy so that you can focus on the impact that only you can make. I'm Payal Mehta. Let's show them what you got.